Welcome to our week 3 update. Today I want to talk a little bit about the chapter 1 assignment. First off, really great job in the effort that I've seen people looking at the various parts of the dashboard and being felt like to me really honest about where you are rating yourself and why in those different categories. The chapter 1 assignment is a really important first step in the design process. Being able to identify where there are elements in your life that are working and where are elements in your life that need to be improved or could be improved or you want to work on. That's really the first step in the design process. Most of the feedback that I gave on your chapter 1 assignment is about section number 5, which is gravity problems. And I want to take a second to talk about that, not because you necessarily need to understand that vocabulary, but it's really important that you understand the idea of a gravity problem. And I do have to say, I may have a little bit of different perspective than the text that we're reading, but I wanted to share my experience with them and ways to reshape them. A gravity problem is something that is not changeable, right? So a gravity problem, example they give in the book is you want to become a poet, but it's a gravity problem that poets are not paid very much in this society, right? Something that you can't change from your position, but you have to deal with. Another example would be you want to become a professional basketball player, but you're not tall. It doesn't mean you can't become a professional basketball player, but that is an unchangeable aspect of your situation that you can't work on. You can't make yourself taller. So a couple things that came up as gravity problems in the chapter 1 assignment were things like not having enough time being a gravity problem, not being motivated to work out being a gravity problem. And I will say that sometimes that's absolutely true. Like not having enough time because you work 5 million jobs and are taking care of your family, that can definitely be a gravity problem. But if we look at them in the perspective of reframing, you want to be checking out if there are ways that you can change your perspective on a problem to make it something you can try to improve, right? In which case it would become a design problem and something that you could try to figure out if there are some possible partial solutions to it. For instance, with the gravity problem, I have no time. If you could reframe it to be, I have almost no free time, but I can try some time management techniques and see if they help. And then all of a sudden, you go from being completely stuck to having a design problem you could work on this semester in looking at time management techniques and seeing if any of them work. You could take what looks like a gravity problem of not being motivated to work out and change it to, despite not being motivated to work out, I can try to find a program or a person to help me. And I left comments on potential ways that some gravity problems that were listed could be reframed into a designable problem. I will say that one of them that I think is really hard for me to give an opinion on is the idea of mental health, because I definitely think that mental health struggles are gravity problems in that it's definitely now, right, a short-term gravity problem. And but potentially, and I was seeing this as some people were talking about it, they were having these realizations, it's maybe not a permanent gravity problem because, you know, through various interventions, sometimes people find better ways to manage their mental health problems. It's very difficult for me to speak on being on the outside of people's situations. So if in my response to you, if you discuss those topics, if I offended you or you felt like I was minimizing what you're going through, I really did not mean to do that. It's just my job to try to put gravity problems in a reframable way, if that's at all possible. So please contact me if I upset you or you have any questions. about the ways that I suggested that a particular problem be reframed. In general, I would say that if for instance, if a person said that their perfectionism is a gravity problem, that I agree that that is a short-term gravity problem. But again, it can be reframed. There can be some strategies taken to shift a person's perspective to make that perfectionism not be such a burden in the long term. So thank you again so much for the time that you put in sharing your situations with me. And please reach out and contact me if you have any questions. Also, feel free to come by my office hours and Zoom. If those don't work for you, send me an email saying, I'd like to meet, and here are some times this week that I can meet, and I will set up an appointment with you. I hope you're having a great weekend, and I am looking forward to week 4.